Hello friends, welcome to another chair yoga practice with Toni. We'll make this practice a little longer than the last, adding some positions that you may find helpful to your body. Let us begin our practice with taking our hands to the third eye center and greeting each other with Namaste. Bringing yourself back up and bringing your hands in front of your heart. Namaste is a greeting that says, the light in me recognizes the light in you. Bring your hands to your thighs with your palms open to the sky. Close your eyes. Spend a moment bringing your attention inward into your body and listening to what it has to say to you today. Maybe you have areas that are sore, areas that are tense, areas that are tight. Make sure that you work with your body in the condition that it is in this moment. Giving yourself permission not to do everything. Giving yourself permission to skip poses or modify them. And let's use this gesture of acceptance that we're holding our hands in right now to accept our bodies just as they are in the present moment. Bringing your awareness to your breath. And just notice your inhales, your exhales, the movement of your body with your breath. Feel the earth beneath you, the air around you, and the expanse of the sky above you. Listening to your breath as you take your inhales and exhales through the nasal passages. Remembering that the prana, the life force represented by your breath, is one of the most important parts of your practice. And then bring your hands back together in front of your heart. Pressing the palms together, elbows are out wide. You're welcome to open your eyes. Let's inhale and take those arms up overhead. And then spread your arms out wide and let them fall down at your sides. And now we're going to imagine that we're scooping that positive energy up into our hands and drawing it down into our hearts. Again, drop your arms at your sides, scoop that positive energy up into your hands and down into your heart. One more time, let's inhale and take our hands up, gathering that energy and drawing it down to heart center. And then bring your hands out to your knees, pull your back away from the chair back so that you're sitting up tall and not leaning back in your chair. And let's drop our arms at our sides. We're just going to tip from side to side. So maybe your hand slides down the side of your chair if you have that available, or maybe it slides down one of your chair legs, or it's just free. So let's inhale here, and on the exhale, slide your right hand down the outside of your chair, letting your left arm relax at your side. Inhale, come up, and exhale, let your left hand slide down the side of your chair. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let the right hand slide down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, let the left hand slide down. Inhale, come up. Let's inhale and take both arms up overhead. Lace your fingers at the top. Press your palms to the sky. Straightening your arms as much as you can, and then drawing those arms back next to your ears. Drawing your shoulders down and your shoulder blades toward each other. And then let's reach up on an inhale and exhale, bring your arms down. Good. Taking your hands out to your knees again, let's move through some cow and cat postures so that we can warm up the spine with flexion and extension. So we pull on our knees, we bring our chest forward, we look slightly up, pointing the tailbone out behind us. That's the cow portion. And then we drop our chin, we round our spine. Your low back will probably press into the chair back as you drop your chin to your chest. Moving slowly, inhaling, pulling your chest forward between your arms, and exhaling and rounding, pressing that low back into your chair. Inhale, sitting up tall, and exhale, rounding. Good. And now keeping your shoulders forward, your low back pressed into your chair, let's slide our hands a little farther down the front of our legs so that the heel of the hand is just below the knee. And then press your hands firmly into your shins and lift your chest, aligning the head with the spine and lengthening the arms. And then slide your hands back up, and let's come all the way up to seated. So we're going to slide forward on our chair so that we have more room to move. Knees out in front of your hips or slightly wider. And let's inhale and take the arms up overhead. We're going to take a twist to the right. So take your right hand behind you, your left hand goes to your right leg. Inhale back to center, and exhale. Take that twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, take your twist to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, take your twist to the left. And then inhale, center. This time, heel toe your feet out a little wider. Exhale, drop your right arm and reach your left arm over the top of your head. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, drop the left arm and reach over with the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the right, reach over with the left. Inhale, center. And exhale, drop the left and reach over with the right. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, bring your arms into what I call cactus arms. Maybe you call them goalpost arms. And pull the elbows back and stretch those elbows as wide as you can so that you have a 90-degree angle with your arms. Good, and we're gonna inhale here. And on the exhale, we're just gonna rotate to the right once. We're gonna rotate a second time and stretch our arms out. Coming back to center with your goalpost arms. Exhale, once to the left, twice to the left, stretch the arms out, back to center. Once to the right, second time to the right, stretch your arms out, back to center. Once to the left, second time to the left, and stretch those arms out. And then back to center with those goalpost arms. And then let's bring those arms up overhead and bring your hands down in front of your heart. Roll your shoulders around. Either direction is fine because we're going to take it the opposite direction now. Good. Okay, so heel toe your feet a little wider. We're going to drop our forearms down onto our thighs. And we're just gonna let the head be in a straight line with the spine. And we're gonna warm up the front and back of the neck. So let's inhale as we lift our head slightly And exhale as we drop the head and look back between our legs. Inhale, lift the head. And exhale, drop the head. Once more, inhaling, lifting the head. And exhaling, dropping the head. And then aligning your spine with your head. And let's keep that right arm down. And let's slide the left hand down to the outside of the right leg. So resting your arm on your thigh, just gently pull with that left hand and look up over your shoulder. And then come back to center and we'll take it to the other side. So taking your right hand across, left arm resting on left thigh, and gently pull with your right hand looking over your left shoulder. And then coming back to center, and let's bring the hands up onto the thighs and bring ourselves all the way up. Good. Let's heel toe our feet in together. We're going to take the arms overhead on a big inhale, and on the exhale, draw that right knee in, and let's point and flex the right foot. You may hear some snapping and popping here. And make some circles with that right ankle. Take your circles the opposite direction. And then slide your hands underneath your right thigh and take your leg out in front of you. And then flex the foot, pushing your heel forward, pulling those toes back. And then let's release and reach out with our fingertips. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to drop that heel down and lift the arms up. We're going to exhale, we're going to lift the leg back up and reach forward with the arms. Inhale, drop that heel, lift the arms up. Exhale, lift the leg and reach out with your fingertips. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And this time when you inhale, you're going to let that heel rest all the way down. And you're going to reach forward. I want you to pay attention that you're not hinging at the waist and folding like this. But when you reach forward, you're reaching with your chest. And imagine there's a box at the end of your mat and you're trying to get your hands on either side of that box. And then just let your hands fall down at your sides. Bring your left hand to your left thigh and reach toward your toes with your right hand. You may be able to touch your toes. You may not. It doesn't matter. Okay, so maybe your hand is here or down around your ankle. All right, so nice stretch for the back of that right leg. And then take both hands down onto your shins. We're going to slide our hands up right underneath the kneecaps. Once again, pressing on the shins to flatten out the back. And then slide your hands up. And bring that knee in. Drawing it up toward your chest. And then maybe taking it out to the side toward your right shoulder. And then back to center. And bring that right foot down. Maybe bounce your feet up and down a few times if you like. And let's inhale. And on the exhale, draw your left knee in. Holding onto your shin with your hands. Point and flex that left foot. And making circles with your ankle. Again, you may hear some sounds. And then holding on underneath that leg, let's stretch the leg out and flex the foot. So you're pulling your toes back toward your chest. The heel of your foot is pushing forward. And then we're going to reach out with our fingertips. And we're going to inhale as we lift the arms and drop that left heel. And exhale as we lift. Inhale, drop the heel, lift the arms. And exhale, lift. Inhale, drop the heel, lift the arms. Exhale, lift. And of course, this time we get to let that heel rest down. And we reach forward on our exhale like there's a big box that we're trying to get our hands around. So the back is flat, you're not hinging at the waist, and you're just reaching. And then let your left hand come to your right hand, come to your right thigh, and your left hand reach toward your toes. Again, it doesn't matter, your hand can be up high, middle, or all the way down. Maybe your toes are pulled back as much as you can get them, and then when you reach down with your hand, you can pull just a tiny bit more. And then let that left hand slide up your left shin, right hand comes down to the right shin. Once again, pressing firmly against those shins so that you lengthen the spine. And then slide your hands all the way up. And bring that knee in again. See if you can pull it a little closer to your chest. And maybe you pull it out toward your left shoulder. And then you bring it back and bring it down. Let's bounce our feet up and down. Give your legs a little kick. Good. And then walk both feet forward. Little bend in the knees. We're going to rest our hands on our thighs. And we're going to keep the toes pointed down, resting on the floor. So you can feel this in the top of your foot, the front of the ankle, the shin. And then we're just going to slide our hands down the front of our legs, getting to your ankles maybe. Slide them back up. And then flex your feet. You'll notice you have bend in your knees now, so walk your heels forward. Hands resting on your thighs. And let's slide our hands down, not pressing hard on your knees as you go by. Maybe they get to your ankles, maybe they don't. And then sliding them back up. And bringing your feet in. Good. If you'd like to get a really nice stretch, you can lean back in your chair. So my back is pretty far away from me, so I can lean back and I can draw both knees in. This would be like I'm on the floor with my knees into my chest. Okay, but you don't have to do that. You can put one foot down and lift one knee, and you can switch to the other. Just leaning back in your chair and working the legs. If both knees are in, just bring them down and bring yourselves up. And let's take our arms out, fingertips to shoulders, heel toe your feet apart a little bit, and let's move from side to side. Waist rotations like this are a great way to relieve strain and stress in the low back. And then coming back to center, we're going to work on some poses that we normally do standing up if you're in a mat class instead of a chair class. So we're going to take that right knee out to the right, and then we're going to make sure we're on the front edge of our chair, and we're going to slide that left knee in so that it's right underneath our hip. You're holding on with your right hand, and let's sweep that left arm up and sweep the right arm up. If you'd like, place your fingers and point those index fingers at the ceiling. Slide your arms back next to your ears, and if you want a little more, slide that left foot back just a little farther. Some of you who do mat yoga will recognize this as Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. And then bring your hands down in front of your heart. Take your right hand to the back of your chair or the seat of your chair. Sweep that left arm open, and then lean back into that right arm, pressing your right hand into the chair seat, reaching over the top and opening the left side body. And then bringing yourself back up. And let's rotate toward the front of our chair. And Just rock those knees from side to side a few times. And let's go to the other side. So we're going to take that left leg out to the left. I'm on the front edge of my chair. My left knee is over my ankle, and I'm going to slide that right foot in and have my hip right over my right knee. Okay, and then we're going to take that right arm in the air, and then take the left arm in the air. If you can't do that, then hold onto the chair with your left hand. Lace your fingers at the top, index fingers pointing up, drawing your arms back next to your ears, and perhaps sliding that right foot back a little farther, coming into a modified Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. And then release. Bring your left hand down to the back of your chair seat or the back of your chair. Take that right arm up, inhale, and on the exhale, lean into that left hand and stretch the right side body. And then inhale and come back up. And let's rotate back to the front of our chairs. Give your legs a bounce. And let's close our eyes, bring our hands together in front of our hearts, and just spend a moment checking out how your body is feeling, what sensations you're dealing with, whether you feel that you've not done enough, or whether you feel you have done too much. You are welcome to exit the video at any time. And then let's open our eyes, bring our hands down onto our thighs, walk your feet apart so that they're about the same width as your hips. We're moving into what is known as chair pose. So this is sort of double chair pose because you're in your chair doing it. So I want you to walk your heels back so that when you look down at your knees, you can't see your feet out in front of your knees. And then drop your arms at your sides, sweep them up on an inhale. And on the exhale, leading with the chest, just lean forward like you're gonna get up out of the chair. Pressing your feet firmly into the floor, imagine you're lifting your hips. They're still connected with your chair, but it feels like you're going to get up out of your chair and your thighs are working. Good. So this is Utkatasana, or chair pose in the chair. And let's inhale and bring ourselves back up, and exhale, bring the arms down. Good. Now if you could not feel the weight in your feet while you were doing this, you might want to walk your feet back a few more fractions of an inch, so that it feels like your heels are going to pop up off the floor. And let's inhale and take those arms up overhead. And again, leading with the chest, we're just gonna lean forward. So we don't want our chest facing the earth. We don't want our head tilted back, nor do we want it dropped down in front of us. And our arms are long and strong, and our fingers are spread wide. Now press those feet into the floor, feeling like you're going to get up out of your chair. And for some of us, we may want to come up out of our chair. Some of us want to stay down, and that's absolutely fine. And if you're up out of your chair, let's go ahead and stand up. Good. And then bring your arms down. Separate your feet wider than your hips. We're just going to do some side bends here before we walk behind our chairs. So let's inhale and bring those arms up. See if you can lace your fingers so that it feels funny. So moving one finger over and then pressing your palms up, inhale. And on the exhale, lean off to the right. And then turn to the right and just sweep your arms around in a big circle and bring them back up. Now we're going to inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to lean to the left. Turn your chest to the left and then go in this big circle the other way. Let's do that once more on each side. So inhale, exhale, and make your big circle coming around. Inhale, exhale, and make your big circle coming around. And then reaching up with your hands, spreading your fingers wide, and bringing your arms down at your sides. So I know some of you are anxious to practice some standing poses. So we're going to walk around behind our chairs. Now this is a little tricky on video because you have a chair between you and me. So I'm going to move my chair off to the side and just use one side of it. Okay? So our feet are hip distance apart. We're just going to rock up onto our toes and rock back on our heels. So lift your heels and lift your toes. And this is a great massage for the bottoms of the feet. And then come up onto your toes and hold. Okay. Some of us have really good balance, some not so much. So if you want, take one hand off your chair, like I have right now, and just see what happens to your balance when you do that. And then if you want, switch hands. I don't have a chair over here, but I'll switch hands. And then holding on to the back of your chair with both hands, come high on your toes until you feel those Achilles tendons really being compressed. And then drop your heels, peel your toes up, and then rock your hips back and wiggle your toes. Good. And then bring your feet back down. Okay, so one of the poses that we practice on our mats and with our chairs is downward facing dog. So you have your chair out in front of you. It's moved forward away from you. So take your chair and move it to the front of your mat. It looks like this on the front of your mat. And you're standing behind it with your fingertips resting on the chair. And they may be just barely resting if you want. Okay? So we're going to take hold of the back of the chair and walk your feet away until your chest is parallel to the floor. If you can, spread your fingers wide and let your head come between your arms. Don't let your head dangle here. That causes way too much weight and can be dangerous for the back of the neck. So your hips are pressed way back and your arms are reaching way forward. I will turn my chair sideways so you can see what this looks like. So here we are in downward facing dog. It's one of the best stretches that you can do. Involves the entire body. And then let's walk our feet forward toward our chair. So I'm going to keep my chair right where it is. You have your chair out in front of you and you want to leave it there. Okay, so let's just take a little step back with the right foot and wrap it behind our left foot with the outer edges of the feet touching. Okay, so this is a balancing pose. You can do the whole thing or you can do part of it. Right, so if you want, just bring one hand to your chest, and if you feel comfortable, bring the other hand to your chest. So the ankles are wrapped, so you have a smaller base and you probably feel a little wobbly. So be sure to hold on to your chair if you need to. Okay. And then let's take our arms up overhead. Little bend in the elbows, palms pressing together. And then open your arms wide. Again, if you need to do this with one arm, please do. And then bring your arms down at your sides. And let's unwind. Give your hips a shake from side to side, bending one knee and then the other. And then let's take that little step back with the left foot, wrapping it around behind the right, aligning the outer edges of your feet, and maybe bringing one hand or both, squeezing those lower legs together, squeezing the thighs together, feeling the challenge of your balance. And then let's bring the hands up overhead, keeping the palms pressing firmly together, elbows out wide. And then let's take those arms out and spread the fingers wide. And just notice all of those nerves telling your body to balance. And then bring your arms down. Separate your feet and take them out a little wider. Turn your toes out just a little bit. Okay, so just a little work for the thighs before we sit back down. So let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts. And we're going to inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to shoot those arms up in the air and we're going to bend our knees like we're going to sit down in a squat. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, take it back down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, take it down. Good. Inhale, come up. And exhale, take it down. So make sure your knees are pointing out the same direction as your toes. And then let's make cactus arms again. All right, so we're now in a goddess pose. So reaching from the tailbone right out the crown of the head, sitting down maybe just a little deeper. Oh yes, those thighs are working. And maybe just a little deeper. And then inhale and bring yourselves up. And exhale, bring your arms behind your back. Place your fingers behind your back. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to press the knuckles down and pull the arms away from the back. Opening the chest. Stretching the arms, pulling those shoulder blades together. And then releasing and shaking everything out. Okay, so we're going to come back down in our chairs. So the chair can be in the middle of your mat, or it can be back at the back side of your mat like it was when you began. All right. So that's our practice for today, but practice is not complete without Shavasana. And Shavasana is our final resting pose. In Sanskrit, Shavasana means corpse pose. If we were on our mats, we would be lying down, and you may want to do that. Or you may want to stay in your chair and press your back into the chair back. Bring your hands to your thighs, turn your palms open to the sky. Close your eyes. And bring your attention back into your body. Feel what you're feeling, both emotionally and physically. Let this final resting time be your opportunity to rest, to stay within, to be calm, and to appreciate all that your body is able to do. Taking a big, deep inhale of gratitude. And exhaling anything your body doesn't need out with your exhale. Inhaling love. Exhaling anger. Inhaling compassion. Exhaling misunderstanding. Inhaling golden light. Exhaling silver light. Inhaling positive energy and exhaling negative energy. And now let your arms fall down at your sides. Wiggle your fingers. Lift your feet and wiggle your toes. If you like, make some circles with wrists and ankles. And take those circles the opposite direction. And then bring your feet back down. Your arms reach high overhead on an inhale. On your exhale, bring your palms together and bring them down in front of your heart, pressing the thumbs into the heart center. Taking a moment to acknowledge yourself for coming out, getting in your chair, on your mat, giving yourself the gift of a yoga practice. I hope that this practice has brought you some calmness and makes you feel safe in your home, still moving your body and getting necessary exercise. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your practice with me today. Until we meet again, hands to third eye center as we say Om Shanti. Namaste.